Hey coin collectors, DC for the Big D Coin Channel, and we're looking at a stack of 1982 quarter dollar coins. We have some D's and some P's. No S's in this stack because S's weren't circulating in 1982. They were a proof set. In fact, they made 3.8 million of a proof set versions. So if you found this and it was a proof 65, it'd only be worth $4. Not a great value coin in the proof set for that year. But if you can find this in an MS65, the Philadelphia Mint, there's a P right there. See the difference between the D and the P? In 1982, the mint marks were really tiny and they got really messy as they went along. We can actually magnify them. You can tell there's a difference between the D and the P, but sometimes what happens is this bottom gets chopped off and you can't tell the difference other than putting them next to each other. This is a copper nickel clad copper, weighs 5.67 grams. We tip it over onto the back. We see that these all have the same reverse. Oh, what a dirty coin that is. Let's move on to this one. United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum here, $quarter at the bottom. At the Philadelphia Mint in 1982, they made 500 million P's right here. So they're not going to be rare ever. But they also made about 480 million Ds, so between the two of them, they made $1 billion. But guess what? If you can find the P, the one that they made the most of, 500 million, in an MS65, it's worth about $28 according to the US Coin Digest. And if you can find a D in an MS65, it's worth about $15. These coins are worth much more as circulated mint state 65s than they are as proof 65s. This coin first came out with a John Flanagan design on the front and the back in 1932. Prior to that, we had the so-called Standing Liberty. And this is a tough one to see. This is an old one. It's a 1926. It says Liberty at the top. Liberty is standing, looking to her left or our right, holding a shield. It says, "In God We Trust," across the center here. We see the stars coming down, the year down at the bottom, and you see how these rims. This is a silver coin, so at minimum it's got a few dollars in silver value. And then if we turn to the back of it, we see there is an eagle still, and there are the stars still. It says United States of America at the top, E pluribus unum below that, the eagle, and then $quarter at the bottom. So you can see we've kind of kept the eagle, we've kept the United States of America, the E pluribus unum, and the $quarter all on here. That did not change until we got to the State Quarter series and then the America the Beautiful series, and then we changed what was on the back, and we changed slightly what was on the front of these coins. The State Quarter series, when you tip this up, you'll see a JF and a WC for William Cousins, who was the engraver of the state coin Washington. But when you get to the America the Beautiful series, you'll just see the JF again. So there's no William Cousins signature on the modern United States quarters. When we look at these coins, one of the things that you always want to look at in a 1982 is how the mint mark kind of came out. So let's see if we can find it. So there's a D that actually looks like a D. See, it has like a little hole in the middle. Here's a P that looks like anything but. It looks almost like a Y. Here's a D. Let's just go through a bunch of them. There's a P. That's clearly a P, but it has a little chopped off bottom. That's the best D we've seen today. And you'll see that it's really hard to get a good looking D. There may be the best P. Notice here there's a little dent in there. When they hit these, strike these to put the mint marks in them, sometimes they dent a coin. Here's a 19. Oh, look at this one. So this one just got beating. It's all pockmarked. It's colored. It got into something somewhere and it hasn't come off, but it's still worth a quarter. So you can still take it down and put it in the soda machine or the laundry machine if your laundry machine still takes either dollars or quarters, or sometimes they take credit cards now, I guess, the laundromat. So there's another D. This quarter was silver until 1964, and then they switched over to the copper nickel clad copper, and has been this way from 1965 on, except for in 1975 they actually went and made a special bicentennial version. And I say 1975, and you say, no, no, that came out in 1976. Well, they made most of them in 1975. And in fact, you can find these in the 1975 year set. But they are the 1776, 1976 bicentennial coins. These were mostly made in 1975. Some were made in 1976. But then that's what I wanted to talk to you about, how they switched the back. So instead of the eagle on the back here, or the eagle like on the back here, let me see if we can do it, they've moved to the drummer. And so in 1976, 75, 76 coins, no coins you're not going to find any coins with a 1975 date on them. They were made in 75, put out in late 75 and 76. Says United States of America at the top, $quarter. E pluribus unum is a torch with 13 stars around it, and a drummer playing the drums. And down here you can see the engraver's initials, JLA, down here. And again, it's still, even though it's a specialty coin, it's still a copper, nickel clad copper. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC on Big D coins. And this is the 1982 Denver Mint Washington quarter. I'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comment section.